Hey, gentlemen, welcome
What up?
back.
What's poppin'? What's poppin'?
Hey, we got another nice let loose episode with
Another get
Amon.
jiggy with it. Another get
Yeah,
jiggy with it. What we calling this? The Alchemist 2?
yes, sir.
I like it.
The Alchemist 2 classes in session.
I love it actually.
I do too.
Yeah,
It's dope.
we got good feedback on the first one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then they even said, "Man, why y'all stopped it?"
Because yeah, motherfucker. Like shit, I'm like, yo, I can't be up all night.
Yeah,
Man, I got a life to live.
that's true.
Man, I got a lot to do.
All right.
Hold on, I'm trying to fix something right quick. I hate when I should do this before. There was just so much going on. I was like, yo. I mean, it is what it is. Let's let it be.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Amon, you set to the live. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
I bet. So, man,
Oh,
you guys already know we got a lot to go on. With a lot to do here. So, I mean, we might as well just jump it off with the topic I was thinking about talking about earlier. I'm tired of seeing ABs with kink tails.
yeah.
That right there. Like Dennis, let me ask you, what's your opinion of ABs with kink tails? Or any breed where that has a kink tail. I mean, I understand docking the tail.
Yeah, I don't like them. It's one of my pet peeves. It, yeah, you got to dock them if they have them, but that's a recessive gene, and it could be it'll show up. It'll show up here and there, but yeah, I don't like it. My personal opinion.
Like
Like a full complete dog.
I feel you on that. Like because I came into the AB. I mean, when I got into the AB, ABs have full tails. I came
Yeah.
into the OD. Now I was a little confused on why we have dock tails and everything else like that.
Mhm.
But as I was learning, it's just cosmetic. But yet, I was always told that a tail helps a dog perform, helps its balance, but I've not had any issues with that. But yet, at the same time, it's the kinks in the tails and then the corkscrew ABs that I've been seeing around. That right there, and as you said, Dennis, yes, it is recessive.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm going to do a little bit more further research because what is it? DM is like a limb disease, and I consider the tail to be a part of the limb.
Mm.
And like if the tail, look at Mon's really king. Look at him on. Look at him on. Look at him. Look at him.
Mm.
So I'm going to do a little bit more research on that to see what before I even speak on that. But yeah, it is recessive. But if you're having kink tails dock and you have to dock the tail when you produce these ABs, then you can't. If somebody gets one, you can't show it because the tail ain't gonna reach the hop.
True that.
You're already in the DQ, or if they don't DQ you, you're getting points dock, and you can't win a show.
Do they care?
Yes,
Some
Who
don't.
cares?
yes.
But I guess like who
The
cares?
John D. Johnsons do.
Yeah. Who? But like I guess what I'm saying is like yeah, the registries care, but
Yeah,
does
but do the judges?
and I feel like that is um I feel like in bulldogs in general, that's one of the things that's like hidden, where
Yeah.
they're like, oh, like we don't, it's okay, it's made okay, um, and not put emphasis on it. So like, I had a guy hit me up for one of my bulldogs. I don't even breed Pacifics no more, but
Yeah.
uh, he was like, man, I really want a Pacific. I really want a Pacific, and he was like, your dogs are so athletic compared to other oldies that I see, and like Ernest had said something about like he considers like the tail like a limb. Um, so I wouldn't like. Well, I didn't go that far as thought process, but that's something for me to process later. But I always looked at the tail like I wanted a nice full tail. I didn't want
Yes.
short, stubby tail that stopped. I wanted a nice, full, functional tail, and I would just choose to dock that tail on my litters. But I like the pups with full tails. The full tail puppies in my litters would be the first ones up. They'd be the first ones on all four. They might not necessarily be the biggest. They might not be the smallest, but they always seem to have the most balance.
Yeah.
And I would always pick the dog with the most balance over one feature. I'm not a front guy. I'm not a back guy. It has to be a balance. And I
Right.
think with selection, we were talking about like methods of breeding. With time, when you select the same type of puppy from a litter over and over and over and over, that's your first pick every litter.
Yeah.
You develop a consistency within the bloodline to produce that type of puppy in a larger ratio. We talking 7 out of 8,
Yes.
8 out of 8,
Yes.
6 out of 8 numbers versus two here, two. You know what I'm saying? You got
Yeah.
Yeah.
variation. And so like I see, like once you can identify a type in a dog that produces that certain type, and you can like you just start to fine tune that wheel with every breeding. I feel like a lot of breeders lack that and lack the knowledge to even look for what is the purpose of a full tail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
just like, oh, it's a bulldog. It could be it's okay if it has a kink. And to some people that's okay. You know what I mean? That's to some people that's cool. But I've always wanted, dogs with the fuller tails.
And you know what, Amon? You said something balanced, right? Um, with the pups, with the full tail, they say they're the first ones to kind of, stand up on their forward and this balance. But look at this analogy: a cheetah goes full sprint, right? But if you notice, if you pay attention to the cheetah, she uses its tail to
Yeah.
balance whether
The
it's
whole
gonna go
time.
left, right.
Yeah.
So
So
Mhm.
like, it's crazy because let's talk about even Dresser's litter and Tookie's litter, like Pelotti's litter. Like their development, I just seen something crazy with them because what was it? Pelotti's litter. I just felt like once they got to moving quick, they got to moving around doing everything, and I'm just like then they wanted to eat more, eat more, eat more. I'm saying the color change just kind of threw me off. They want to eat more. And I don't know if it's the tail or anything, but that development of the dogs with full tail to me just kind of seems to progress faster.
yeah,
Like because what they were roughly 16 days, and they were like, I'm like, hey, they looks like they draining my bitch.
Yeah.
I had to throw them on. I threw them on raw at like anywhere from 14. I'll go find the post. It was their first day on raw. I'm like, yo, I gave them a little bit and they start eating it. Bam, boom. I'm not saying it's the tail, but it's just that development of dogs. I just think with full tails just kind of do something different.
Mhm.
yeah. I think it just a full complete dog always looks
It
better.
is. And I think we just need to stop babying them and talk about we need to start giving them mush at 3 weeks and give them mush when we can see that they need the mush. Like, yo, that milk ain't gonna always do it. The solidarity of that food will definitely get you.
Yeah, you'll see it in your pups for sure.
But I want to touch back on what you were saying, Amon. Like where we're looking at our program, where people, when you pick a puppy and you're looking for a complete balance overall of dog,
Mhm.
I agree with you on that 100%
Yeah.
because I don't think anyone in this whole game, I wouldn't say anyone, but a lot of people, kind of like when we're touched back on what we were saying last week, that all these people that are in this breed world we got, you can only name a handful that have type and consistency.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are just picking the puppy because, oh, this puppy is cute, or this puppy has this gene, or this color trait, and this, that, and the third, and not the overall balance of the dog with a nice balanced head type, muzzle, shoulder lay back, depth of chest, even streamline, a good turn of stifle, nice spread. They're not picking the overall dog. They're picking bits and pieces off of things, or I wouldn't say, bits and pieces off of things just to take a puppy to bring into their program instead of the most overall stuff.
Right.
It's kind of a conversation that Dennis and I were talking about. I'm not going to say any names, but just a program that just keeps posting dogs. And I'm just like, yo, I'm not seeing any consistency. I'm not.
So, just like there's consistency with good traits, so like, well, I'm not gonna say good or bad, but I'm gonna say just like there's consistency with full tails, there's consistency with pups that throw kinks as well.
Yeah,
I notice my kink puppies are like always bullier, always freakier, especially young. But they always, I mean, they may still finish nice, but I feel like they don't always finish to standard.
they lack towards the end.
Yeah, they or like, I mean, if we're talking about an American, and I produce an American with a king tail, and I have in that same litter, I've got a puppy with a full tail. That puppy with that full tail, I feel like is going to be closer to the breed standard than the puppy with the king tail. The puppy with the king tail is going to give me more oldie features, more English features.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just because of, like you said, the recessive traits that is carrying from the English bulldog influence.
Well, that's where the king tail comes from.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's like, people don't talk about it, but usually the people that dogs look a certain way, they don't have tails.
Right. So
or
it's like,
half the litter doesn't, or like it happens more than once. I mean, that's because the breed that's in it. That's the thing that shows.
Yeah.
I think, Gam, you are right. It is coming from the English.
Yeah, it's definitely coming from
the English. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I specifically remember having a female that she gave me a king tail, and I was like, huh. And so I just kept the puppy and watched it. And it turned out to be a freak of a puppy. Her name was Spotlight. She was bad little black and white bitch. But she had like dwarfism. She was like way smaller than everything else in my litter. Way freakier. She had drive and tenacity for days. But if we would have did her appraisal, she would have failed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what did you breed that dog?
Did I breed the pup? The one with the king?
Yeah.
No. I sold her to, I think I sold her to a guy. I'm not really sure what happened to her after that. I don't think he bred her though.
Okay. Because my next question was like, why did you breed her?
She would have been like a hell of a tool in an exotic program. Picture an exotic without cropped ears, and that was just hella functional.
No shit.
I'm talking 12 inches that's jumping 4.5, 5 feet. You know what I'm saying? Just drivey, spring.
I think I know what you're talking about. You got a picture of that dog with you and like it's jumping. I think you got a picture of that.
That might be Nyla. I think she's the red and white. I think you're talking about Nyla, the red and white one.
No, I think it was black and white.
I don't know. Ain't no telling dogs.
But
selecting is key. You know, like
you're right there. That word right there. Like people don't like that word. We say it a lot. Like it is literally, you have to be selective with your selections. And honestly, like in that word, like you gotta be honest with yourself along with what the breed standard is.
How do y'all feel about like, So when you're evaluating a litter, are you getting other people's opinions, or how do y'all feel about
Sometimes, like I only get the opinion of this platform. I don't
probably not
know.
like not random people,
No.
maybe like a close group of friends or
right?
whoever, or sometimes it's like within my family who wants to keep it. My kids are gonna put their input, my girl or something, other than like Dennis and a couple
I
other
don't listen
people.
to like my girl or my kids.
Well,
They look at cuteness.
yeah, I think that's
Right.
the thing, right? And then I see people where they come up, they're like, "Hey, whatever you guys pick it." I've heard stories where they say, "You guys pick the dog, and we'll do that." And it's like, "Damn, this was a badass puppy," right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking for something right now that I don't show people this, but I'm gonna show it today. If I can find it, but I do evaluation videos. I don't know if y'all do them or
I do the
not,
same thing. Where
but and I record them on YouTube. And so what I'll do is like
you
I'll
stack
set up
them.
a tripod, I'll stack them, and
Yep.
then I'll get video of that puppy natural stacking, and I'll make a clip for that pup, and then like I won't look at it for like 3-4 days.
Yeah.
I'll come back to it. I'll be laying in bed and put it on TV on YouTube, and I'll watch that puppy again and see like what I see wrong, what I see right. I do my evaluations like that, and then kind of like my own in-house appraisal system type situation to help me kind of navigate through pups. And I do it at different stages. It might be 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, or sometimes you got to watch pups because sometimes they hit their growth spurt. Like you might have a pup that hits it 4, 6, 8, but then you might have some that hits it 5, 7, 9.
Yeah.
So you might have to make that 5, 7, 9 comparison to another puppy's 4, 6, 8 comparison to really, figure out like, okay, growth rate, maturity, like where am I getting my best glimpse of them as an adult? I do a lot of that.
So even like that part right there, like I do the same thing. Victoria Clausen of Cuberton Borable, she kind of taught me that. Like she has a notebook, and like I have the same notebook as a chart where you're stacking, like getting the weight and everything of the dog, watching the growth of each puppy from each week or whatever. That way you can evaluate their growth spurts and everything.
Right.
And then on top of that, like, I got plenty of videos where you can see, like, I have videos, like, you might see me just making little clips and everything, but I'm literally evaluating the dog at its natural stack, at its movement, and also I am gauging the puppy's confidence, like just putting them outside, watching that confidence, throwing them in different areas. Who is going to be the one that ventures the yard the most? So that's another thing I'm evaluating. Then you can see the videos where I have multiple puppies that I'm doing different stacks with. Like, because I'm not just stacking them to be stacking them. I'm stacking them because I want to see where this puppy fares to the rest of the litter and who has the best overall balance of the puppy. But yet, at the same time, I still will reach out to my mates, be like, yo, am I not seeing something, or is there something that you see that I don't see? Yeah. Because I'm partially blind in one eye, but it's cool.
No, definitely. You have to break down the even pups, and I do it. But I look for head shape, ear set, eye set.
That's one thing about you. I noticed you love a fucking ear set.
Hey.
Sometimes.
Hey.
Yeah,
right? That ear set takes the head type.
Yeah. So that's like those little fine-tuned details, man. Like when you're looking for a look, all right, so like we know with bulldogs, like you might get rosed ears or you could get your
correct. Yeah.
Right.
So some people, one of my like mentors, he prefers rosed ears. I don't, because I feel like the forward ears give you more like of I like the uniformity when I see it across everything, but he likes rose ears.
I like the fold over.
he would tape his ears, but I was like Legend. Legend's ears would fold over, but LL had rose.
Yeah.
So, you know, like just like those little things. But then like that's what we was talking about. Like when you have that litter and you're selecting that pup, you select that pup with the folded ears.
Yeah.
You do that for 2 litters straight. And then you take those 2 pups and you breed them to another pup that's been selected that has the same traits, whether it's an outcross or not, you're still gonna get that same phenotype. And then that's what happened. Like that's really like what starts to lock things in.
All the time.
And it's like it's beautiful.
It is. And like those are just those little bitty critiques and those little bitty like just genetic things that you're trying to bring into your yard, your program to be significant to yourself.
Yeah.
But yet uniform to create what we're going to be talking about: type, look, genetics, something that is yours, you know? Like you don't get a lot of what we're talking about now. I don't know, man. It's weird to me. I wish I can I wonder what people are really looking at when they're picking their puppies and picking their litter. And speaking of puppies, have y'all seen CJ Hernandez post?
Oh man.
Oh yeah, that one puppy just posted. Yeah.
That's the F3s?
That litter was insane.
No, you seen the one he just posted? Oh, you haven't?
Let me pull it.
I think it's on the reel. He sent it to me, and I said, "Hey, yo, what you got over here?"
CJ, that litter was just.
Are you talking about the one he did just a moment ago?
The
ones that are like 7, 8, 9 weeks old now.
Oh, the one the black and white one with the yoked up shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he sent it to me. I said, "Hey, yo, what?" I think he just finished the C-section, and these long body, big muzzle motherfuckers, like, yo.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, CJ, hey, y'all, hey, that boy CJ.
He got some stuff. He
do.
He has the he's got the mindset too for it.
He
like
does.
Understanding phenotype, genotype.
Yeah.
He does. And like I'll tell you, like he may not be like one of the most, like, I guess you could say, like outspoken breeders.
Yeah.
That man let his dogs do the job.
But give him time though.
That's what I mean. He's letting his dogs.
I think CJ's young, right?
Huh? Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Give him time. Give him,
I think he's taking it. He getting his time right now.
Yeah, he's doing some good stuff.
He is.
I'm telling you,
hey, can we give that man a round of applause? CJ Hernandez, is a round of applause for you, my boy.
Definitely. Here you go.
Absolutely.
I think I said this before, maybe on the first episode, but it's not many puppies that I see that I respect. But that litter, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
If I was like,
I almost was like, hey, let's talk about one of these.
Yeah, I need that.
Yeah.
And the type was there.
It was.
The type was there.
Yeah, he has a few of them that are really nice.
Yeah, I was impressed.
What else you got up there, Ernest? What other question you wanted to ask?
There's a lot of things I want to ask, but I ain't asking.
Hey, go for it.
All right, so our topics today, we're on breeding methods. So let's get on that. Like, what is y'all's like? There's multiple ways to breed a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Breed a dog in outcross, line breeding, inbreeding. What is y'all's method that you believe? Like for me, what is your first start out method? What do you think you should do to even start, create, and base your lines off of? I love what I'm getting that biology thinking.
You don't have to give all details, just
yeah, you just keep it.
Linnell got his notepad right now. He said, hold on a second.
Because there's always a process.
What? Why Why you always coming at me, my boy? Why you always coming at me? This is all mental.
So I feel like all right. In my production, I'm always shooting for a 75-25 pedigree in my production. So that like
Elaborate that 75-25 so people know what you're saying.
all right, so 75% one bloodline, 25% of outcross. That's what I would like to see in my pups. That gives me enough of an outcross to keep things kind of low with my numbers, but it gives me enough of a line breeding to guarantee the type that I want to see. And then combine that with selection, and you just repeat the process. But like I said, I had a female, and it took me 3 breedings to figure out how to breed her. I outcrossed her, thinking that the bloodline was too tight. And she was an example of 75-25. She was a production, kept her, raised her up, outcrossed her, thinking, okay, I need to add some more variation into it. And this is actually kind of where I built my theory off of this bitch. And I learned then, I was like, okay, I can go tighter. So when I bred her to 100% outcross, I hated the pups. I didn't like them. Both of them went to pet homes. It was only 2, thank God. Second litter, I was like, I'm going to go a little bit tighter. So I found a stud that was 50-50. 50% same blood, first cousin, family type situation, and then 50% outcross. That worked. 50% of those puppies were super. So they let me know there, oh, I can breed this girl tight. And I bred her tight, and she gave me the best litter. And then I started, I'll probably get kicked for saying this, but I bred this girl 5 times. It took me 3 breedings to figure out how to breed her. By the time I got to the 3rd breeding, I knew exactly what I needed to do. So I bred her to my tightest stud, which was Legend. Produced my best litter with her. Then, remind me to go back to that point. Then I started breeding her to Legend sons. So I knew that the genetics was still there through Legend, but it'll give me a little breakup too. And I got heat every single time. And that's like why I had LL, why I had Hebrew. All like those boys played a part into that. And then like once I would do the breeding, I run them through 2-3 females, then I would move on to the next stud that I built. The part that I wanted to go back to was we were talking about like breeding methods and like what do you think? How do you know when to line breed? Like all of that. Yeah. I prefer family breeding. So I look for breedings where the ratio is high of quality per pup. So if it's 5 puppies in the breeding and 4 of the 5 are top notch, I'm not just going to look at one of that 4 or 5. I'm going to try to incorporate all of those litter mates into my pedigree. So that way I'm getting all of the traits into one dog. So a lot of first cousin type breedings, uncle niece, like those type breedings to really bring those traits out. But I don't like to focus on one dog. I'm not just going to focus on just Pain and then I'm going to breed, take Pain back to his daughter. Then I'm going to breed him back to his granddaughter. I don't like to do it like that. I like to look at the litter. And if I see consistency amongst the litter as adults, then I know they've got genetics. And then I can cultivate those genetics.
Multiple to use, multiple to work with.
How I want. And it still keeps the number low because you're getting the genetics, but it's different dogs.
Yes, you're breeding. So let's say you got 5 females.
Mm-hmm.
You can do an inbreeding with one, and you can do an outcross with another, and you can do another tight line breed with something, and you start bringing puppies, you bring cousins together, start bringing that together, double up that genetic, throw an uncle in there. So
that's how I like to breed.
And I agree with you on that as well, because there was something I said to Dennis the other day about Tookie and Philotes, which is, son and mother.
Mm-hmm.
They show genetics of the pedigree, like really strong off of offspring. So reproductions, like qualities of dogs and traits that were in their pedigree.
Right.
And even for generations down the line, it's still there. And I said, Dennis, if I got these two that are showing that genetic, why would I not take them both together? And that's why what's crazy when I look at all of them, when I look at Tookie, I look at Wolfina, I look at Nos, I look at Notice, I look at Monroe, they were all named after a dog in the pedigree. Because Tookie used to be named Copper because they all hit genetics of the pedigree. They hit it. And it's like, bro, and where you're saying, like, yo, I see the genetics of the pedigree, so why not use them all to play a part in my end goal?
Right.
And it's like, if you're not going to do that, then you're going to lose a lot when you're going further down the line, when you're trying to build something on your own. You're going to lose it because you're going to go, oh, I'm going to take one puppy or two puppies. Then I'm going to breed this puppy out here, then this one over here. Then you're going to keep playing with this one, this one, this one, this one. And the lines are going to go so far away from each other. Then you're going to try to bring it back, but you've already lost it by then.
Yeah, you lost it by then.
Yeah.
Like that. All right, so I should remember, but I was talking about LL, the boy that Ernest bought from me.
Yeah.
The blue and white boy. And I was saying he was like my best producer. He even outproduced his dad, which was from a full brother-sister breeding. And like when he said that part about the names, it just reminded me because I had Legend, I had Legend's Legacy, and then I had LO, which was off of, but it was spelled like with ELLO because he was off of LL, but it all tied back into the great grandfather, which name was Ello.
Isn't he down here in Florida somewhere? Was he?
Yeah. So the whole like that whole, it just the way it broke down for me, and then like LL, the reason that he produced so good is because what made Legend's parents so great was their dad Gotti. So what I did was when I bought that bitch Karma, which was LL's mom, a lot of people thought it was an outcross, but what they didn't realize was that LL's mom dad was like, it was kind of like that litter mate thing again, going back to it. Like Gotti, it was like 3 or 4 litter mates that was all within that same pedigree. So it might have appeared as an outcross because the names look different on paperwork, but once you got to like that 3rd or 4th generation, everything lined back up, and then you see all of that come back out, and then you have this tool in front of you that's a producing machine. And that's literally what happened with LL. And like I said, his dad was inbred, full brother sister, same litter, same like everything.
Yeah.
Not the first litter to the second litter, like full brother sister. And LL outproduced him. And I really think that it was because of the way that I tied that pedigree back into the grandfather's pedigree and the grandfather's siblings. So just, like understanding what dogs is a good producer, understanding some math, because you got to understand some ratios. Like, okay, this dog's throwing 2 out of 8 pups look great, but then you get a dog that's throwing 5 out of 8. And then sometimes you get a dog that's hitting no matter what bitch you put him to.
Yeah.
Those things matter too.
Well, with that being said, there's what is it? The formula of breeding coefficient. Now, Dennis and I were talking about the breeding coefficiencies of breeding with dogs.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, everybody's familiar with the breeding coefficient, right?
Right.
COI. Yeah.
Yeah, COI.
Yeah.
Just the probability that an individual 2 alias of a locus and that can be carried by descent of each dog, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we're doing these breedings and we are looking at the COI, so what do you guys consider to be a good ratio of number? Like, you can do anything from 0 to 1, 0 to 100. What is a good percentage that you guys think would be a good number to continue your quality of reproducing consistency and traits with dogs? What do you think is too high to create a high risk of inbreeding and depressions and everything to reduce your hyper vigor? Or you think there is no too high of a number?
I don't know. I've seen people say, I mean, that 20 is high, 10 is high. I think it kind of just depends on the dog. But my understanding, I had brought this conversation up, right? So, like, you get the dogs that are either closer bred together, right? So the coefficient would be higher, right? More or less. They're closer together, their relationships, but they would be higher. So, but the kind of the variations that I've seen, like between the 30, let's say a 20 and the 50, like what is really the percent of it, is it, and what's the breakdown? Well, right? Yeah. Like where are you pulling I guess you would have to know where they're pulling the exact numbers, right? And how. Well, because go ahead.
No, keep going.
Yeah, you would have to do that, because I've seen where one is high, right? And it was like an inbreeding, right? And it was, let's say, like 50, but one is not an inbreeding, and it was still like maybe 40, right? So where are we pulling it exactly, like, from?
So it's not, it's your lineage that where it's coming from. It's not so much of it. Even like, you have two dogs that are like not inbred, but they have in the back genetics. Let's say in like generation 3, 4, 5, they carry some of the same blood. So you're building that number up from the back, not just the front. The front might keep it open, but you can still build the coefficient into a high rate from the back number, even though you're doing like not so much of a line breeding or even an outcross, because you can't really say an outcross, but you're just doing a tighter breeding. If you're doing a tighter breeding by things in the back, that's still a tight breeding. Right. Just because the front isn't there and the front is open, your back is still bringing your numbers up.
Right.
Because of where the dogs fall and what genetics and ancestry is in that dog.
Yeah. So it would be from the back, right? Because I think that's the thing. A lot of people see, like, Caveman 1974 is saying 35 is really high. That's a deadly number. It's definitely not a deadly number because the dogs aren't dead, right? We know that. But then it's how far you're going to push it and where does the next one go? But if you're saying it comes all the way from the back, we see a lot of people where they say, oh, they're not inbreeding. But if you have all these dogs in the back of the pedigree that are touching, well, you kind of are, like,
right.
Amon's point, right? Like, you're bringing those back and you think I'm doing an outcross. And in reality, you're not. They're just the dogs that are related. And I think and that's what people are like, oh, I just make sure it has 2 times this, 4 times this. I'm like, well you're double, triple, that kind of goes back to that.
You're still adding double up of that dog. Just because you're not lining it together, you're still adding it together some way, in some form in the pedigree.
Yeah, I see it too. I see it 2 ways. I'm gonna make 2 statements. Let me say that. The first one, as far as like a coefficient, as far as numbers being too high. So when it's further back in the pedigree, you can build that number, but the buildup is a lot slower the further it is away. So and you got to think about, for like the people who don't understand, if you have one dog in a pedigree, 1 out of 18 dogs, then that number is gonna be low. But if we get to that one dog is 6 out of 18, then it increases the COI.
Yeah.
But if that one dog is in the 4th or the 5th generation 4 or 5 times, then it's gonna build, but it's gonna build at a lot slower of a rate versus you doing an inbreeding daddy-daughter. That's gonna pick that number up quick. One breeding skyrocketing.
Yeah.
So I think that matters too. And then most importantly, my second point was, I look at the numbers, but you got to know the dog in front of you too. If the dog is not healthy and you inbreed on a dog that's not healthy, you're gonna get trash dogs. But if you inbreed, line breed, family breed, whatever you want to call it, on a dog that you know is a good dog, then chances are you're going to progress with better dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with you on there.
Dog that's in front of
I agree with you to a point on that, because even though we are going to inbreed on 2 good dogs,
you still
there's
can get
still a
bullshit.
genetic.
That is true.
There's still a genetic flaw in there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when we do it tighter, we bring it out much faster.
Yeah.
So we know which puppies to get rid of out of our breed pool.
Yeah.
People think like, oh, if I keep it loose, then I'm going to be good with it. Well, I think the problem is now we're a little too loose, because I think the looser we are, the more genetic health issues we're going to have.
I think.
Yeah, but to that point, so people say loose. So even if you do an outcross, right?
Yeah.
Totally dog's nowhere near. But this dog is a carrier of whatever. Ick, right? That doesn't, people think outcross automatically means safe. No, it ain't safe, because if the dog has ick, this doesn't, carrier, boom, you're going to get something. Yeah. If you do, let's say an inbreeding, right? If they both don't have it, boom, you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not there.
You say it's not there. But there's so many mitochondria in a dog. Like,
yeah, but if you test them and the dog doesn't have it, it doesn't have it.
Here, I'm gonna say it like this: like, health testing is good to do. I believe health testing is a great thing to do, but it is not the be all end all.
No, it's a tool.
Exactly. It is a tool, so we know the platform and the stage we can be on. Right. But even though we're still doing all this, you can still, the chances of still producing IC, NCL, HUU, you can still do it.
Yeah.
But you're just going to pull it out faster of which puppy, like, okay, cool, bam, found that gene in that puppy, get rid of that one.
Right.
Now we got more. But
that's what inbreeding does. It brings those recessive genes
it brings it out
to the surface
a lot faster.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing where people are like, oh, inbreeding is not a good idea. You shouldn't do it. Or inbreeding is what's
you
the
find
word?
out what's in your lines real quick.
It's crazy.
You're going to know what's in it quick. Man,
you got to be selective.
That's where the selects come from. Yeah. But like, I think we should all health test our puppies before we even start moving along.
Yeah, I think. My bad, Ernest, but I really want to say this. On episode 1, I think I proposed. Maybe it was before I even jumped on, and I said, like, how do y'all feel about having a program that's solid and then the program decreases because you chose to do an outcross or something along those lines?
Yeah.
So with that right there, so I can't say it all the way, but I know the formula that I know that I'm doing and then Dennis is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Where you gotta have multiple dogs that you're keeping tight. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
And then you gotta have something that is a variable. That's the whole thing of breeding. It is a science project. You have to have your constants and your variable.
Right.
Because you have to bring something in to see where, hey, does this work? And if it doesn't, boom, then I know that's not fit for my program.
That's not it. Next.
Yes. And the thing is, people don't have variables and constants. They don't have that. They just have dogs.
Right.
That's just all they have.
In my particular, like what so I have a male and a female. It's a full brother system. I bred the male out, kept a female back from another well-respected bloodline. And the puppies came in. The puppies look good, but health-wise, they are not to the standards of the full brother and sister that I have. And I can't help but blame that on me doing the outcross. I allowed another bloodline to come in, and the flaws that was within that bloodline came out within my pups.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it. You know what I'm saying? I see it. So it's like, shit, now how do I breed? Because I got these dogs that are already heavily inbred.
Yeah.
Or no, not inbred, they're inbred. Look freaking amazing. Super. I mean, the Frenchies, they live outside in Louisiana year round. Fan, no fan, it doesn't matter. They're hardy, they're short, compact, cobby, everything. I outcrossed the bloodline, went with Gold Sierra, and when I came back in, I was like, whoa, all right, I lost a little bit. I lost a little bit of what I had in that production. So it's like, do I take a dog that's 50% my blood, that's flawed, and try to breed it back and recorrect and hope that those flaws recorrect, or am I just gonna bring that back into the gene pool again?
Yeah.
And my overall response was, I'm gonna bring it back into the gene pool again, so I'm not gonna do it. And so now I'm just like stuck, like, damn, like, what do I, like, how do I breed these two? Like, I don't want to do a brother sister breeding right now, but I'm scared to go out again because when I went out, I brought back in flaws. And that can happen. Like, a lot of times line breeding is safer than outcrossing.
And I agree with you on that.
True that. And
Well,
that's why I always say, like, for me, I'm trying to do 3 lines, right?
right?
Mhm.
But then
That's
I want to have
That's hard to do for one person.
yeah,
That's-
it is. It
It is.
Yeah, it
It
is.
is. And we talk about it all day long.
Yeah, but see, at the same time, I want to have a subline where I could play certain, bloods that I'm be like, all right, let me see if this works. It's it's a subline. It's not my official family of line of certain
Right.
blood.
That's that variable right there.
Yeah, but then with the first established line, what I'm gonna do with the second and third. So when I outcross, I'm gonna use those 3 lines just in a rotational system. So I already built the dog that I wanted with the pedigree, just COI at so much percentage. Same line is gonna be the same. So I'm just looking dog to dog.
Right.
So hopefully, things work out. But that's my outcross, and I think that's why I said I'll do it in my yard first before I go out of my yard to get a different stud.
I like what you just said, Dennis. So you said that essentially you're building your outcross.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing. Like I wanted to say it all, Dennis, and you notice I kept it short.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's why I went the concepts and the variables. Like, I can't. I'm not the type that wants to give up everything and say everything. So where like Dennis is at, it is hard to do with one person.
Yeah.
But when you do have multiple lines in your yard, it's actually a little easier.
Yeah.
Because right now, because I have I got my Vagara line. I have my can't tell nobody line. And then I got one bitch that I always fucking forget I got.
Right.
Always, because she's in a co-own. And like I always forget about it. But I'm building off of all of them. But then at the same time, I'm still gonna find something that's completely outside of that. And I know exactly where I'm gonna go with it. But I have to build the consistency of my 3 before that 4th one can even get played with.
Yeah.
Because if you don't build the consistency of your 3 and that's not continuously on and on and on and on, if you bring out that subline, as Dennis would like to call it, that subline, you put the subline in your 3 tightly built lines, which are all separate from each other, where you can do. That's what we say to people all the time. If you're gonna do an outcross, make sure the outcrosses you're doing are tightly built.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna take 50-50 splits from both. Like, and then find those traits, select that balanced dog to keep your type and traits.
Yeah. So the phenotype piece. You want with that outcross is pretty much to have the same phenotype from what you for. So you get the genetic diversity, but you keep the same physical characteristics.
Yes.
Yeah. That's smart. That's a real good way of processing.
And then just remember too, a higher CRI increases homozygosity, So you have more of a consistent, look. Yep.
You get more of a
Yeah, you
consistent
get some
look.
uniformity.
Yep.
And then it's going to help you when you do your outcross, right? That's going to put you, that'll carry over, right? And then you still get that, like with the phenotype and, build that in that same direction. So it doesn't put you backwards, right? You're going to use it to build and keep going forward.
Yeah, and like young Grady and YouTube said, some dogs are prepotent. RCOI.
Wait, repeat that.
Young gravy part? You hungry?
Shut
No,
your,
that-
you know what, bro? Forget it. I love
What?
you.
That's why you turn your camera off.
I am actually eating something right now.
Ah, man, what the heck? That's
Hey,
crazy.
man, do you not
That's
understand
crazy.
what I'm trying to do right now, bro?
I don't know
Off
what
the
you're trying to do.
subject. No, bro. Do you know how? Oh, Gam, you didn't know. I got a neurovirus. I got sick as hell, and I lost like 30 pounds.
No, I didn't know you had the neurovirus. I talked to you before.
Yeah, so now that I've been cleared to hit the gym and everything, bro, I've been eating like every 2 hours, bro.
Sheesh.
Like a puppy.
Huh?
Like a puppy.
Pretty much.
That's what's up.
Pretty much, man.
Well,
I miss
get
my
your
old
nutrients
size, my boy.
Get
I
your
miss the old
nutrients
me.
up.
Huh?
Get your nutrients up.
I have to.
We don't want you passing out over here.
I can't step off this porch looking like a puppy. I need to be the big dog on the block. You feel me?
The big dog.
I'm trying to be Gam weight right now.
You know what I'm saying? We could get you there. Hey, I jumped on late. The sun is still out over here. This time change got me.
Man, it's got y'all. Man, we're over here. Wait, man, I'm telling you, man, it'd be 7 in the morning. I'll be like, yo, where is the sun at?
Right.
I was like, oh, I got some time. It's not dark yet. I got like another hour. And I'm like, oh, 6.
Bro, I'll be sitting there chilling. I'm like, wait, I'm up. And I'll be sitting there doing everything with the dogs and stuff. And I'm like, yo, hold on. That sun ain't even came up. Why am I even?
What time is it over there, man?
It's 9.
It's 9 to him.
Yeah.
What about you?
It's 10. It's 10 to me. It's 8. It's 9:53.
Hey, it's gonna be 7 over here.
Man.
We know.
I love the time change. I hate it when it gets dark at like 5:30.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Now that little hour gives you that. That's sometimes that's all you need at the end of the day. The extra hour, like 6 to 7.
It gives me so much more time with the dogs.
Yeah.
So much more time in the yard.
Yeah, it does for you because you get home later. And the same thing with you guys get home later. I get up earlier than I get. Yeah. So that way I get all that time. And then even when I get off work, I still have the time.
Right.
No, on this side, we get up early and still come home.
I'm already. It could be dark, raining. It don't matter. I'm still up early.
Dennis, it could be rain, sleet, hell, snow. What did Waypool Harness say?
Yeah.
Dennis Scott, what'd you call me the other day? And then you were like, you working the dogs? Hell no, bro. I've worked all weekend. I'm sitting on, bro. Like, I feel so drained, bro. Like, what? Because I got to work today. I got up at 5 this morning. They asked her, they was like, hey, can anybody stay till volume? My black ass was like, yeah, I can.
Maybe.
Get it in.
Exactly. I got stuff to do. And they were like, they adjusted my next shifts and stuff, so I'm not at overtime and everything. But then I was like, yo, it's Wednesday. Why the hell did I do that? No. Because I was
so Amon, for the American Bulldog, do you have a percentage where the American Bulldog COI should be?
No. I don't focus on that. I really
That's what I was gonna ask. Is there like a number that something that you check off the list?
That's not a deal breaker for me. Knowing the pedigree, how it works is important because I feel like you need to know that. But I want to know more about the dog. I want like the physical living dog, not like can it take heat? How long? What's the life expectancy? You know what I'm saying? How's it moving? Is it powerful in the rear, or does it just trot?
Yeah.
You know, like uh, how hardy is it? You know, like what's the are there reproductive issues behind the line? Like those are the things that I want to focus on. Those are the things because you got to think at some point we didn't have a pedigree database to keep track of that shit.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So like, how did good breeders do that then?
They wrote it down.
Yeah, they wrote it down. They wrote it down,
Yeah.
but they understood what a good dog was at the same time.
And that's another thing. I think a lot of time, like probably now, people get more caught up with that. Like all the information that we have, sometimes too much information. I mean, it could be too much, right? I think people focus on like certain buzzwords and like, like COI and all those. Do I think when they were running real dogs like that, they weren't tripping if they were uncles or aunts or brothers? They were like, that dog looks good. I like what it does. I'm going to put it to that dog because it looks good. I like what it does, right? And they keep going. And most of that paperwork, we don't really know. And at the end of the day, right, there's no digital files. So you know what I'm saying? And the health tests were 0.
I know that this is like a lot different than what we do within our like homes and yards, but the conversation between artificial selection and natural selection is big, because if we are artificially selecting everything, then we're going to lose the hardiness of the dog. You know, that's why we have so many dogs that need C-sections.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like if a wolf needs a C-section, where's it going?
Yeah.
It's dead.
Yeah.
It's dead.
I like that. Right.
That line is over.
That line is over. Exactly. So when that line is over, then what are we moving forward with? Hardier dogs.
Yeah, and I like where you put that, like that whole thing with a wolf. Like,
yeah, so I do feel like there's like a line, but you have to look at both. You have to like, okay, yeah, I know that I'm
thin line between love and hate.
Doing this, but let me keep in mind like natural selection and how that takes place as well.
Yeah.
In my practices with within the whelping box, I think stuff like that matters. And like for me personally, I'm trying to get back to that, just the hardier dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like we make things so we make, some dogs shouldn't even be bred, and we do the most to get them bred, and then they produce pups that have the same issues that they have, and then we're doing the whole process again. And because the pup looks badass, we continue to do this process. You know what I'm saying? And it just removes the natural selection away.
Like on that part right there where you're talking about the hardiness of a dog and can it breathe, how does it move? There was a situation like when I first moved out here to Florida, and Dennis and I was talking about it. Someone had a dog. I'm not gonna name the name or whatever. They moved the dog somewhere, and the dog was basically a kennel dog. Mm-hmm. Let the dog out, and it just died. And Dennis hit me up and asked me about it, like, yo, did you see this, yada, yada? I'm like, nah. And he said, my boy. He's like, your dogs, it don't matter, bro. Like, we moved to Florida, and we just kept it moving. They'll run and play, and they'll do the whole thing, and they can breathe the whole 9 here in Florida. And I came from Oklahoma. Oklahoma just like Louisiana.
Right.
Florida the same way. Bro, it don't matter which dog I got. I can throw these jokers outside and they can stay there. Not one of them's going to overheat. Not one of them's going to kill themselves because they know, hey, I've been living this life so long that I know how to take care of myself. Yeah. That we have babied these dogs and even kept them enclosed so much that they don't have a natural instinct to do anything. To be in heat, to be in cold, to even whelp a litter, to even naturally know to take care of my home and do my job without having to be told to do. These are those things that people are with babying these breeds. I'm going to say it again, these are apex predators. Let them be an apex at the time, my boy. Like,
You ain't got no apex predators over there.
man, walk in my house and tell me I don't. Man,
Don't be telling me.
You know what, Gil? You know,
Don't be telling me
I
over
want you to walk in
there.
my house and tell me not one
I'll
of my
put that
dogs
thing in the
got picked up.
headlock.
I'm good,
I'll
boy.
put that thing in the headlock. All them dogs be out there running around. They be out there running around.
You know what?
Like there's
Hey,
a balance.
I ain't gonna wear no bite sleeve. They're gonna be like, oh, there's no bite sleeve. I'm not biting.
Shut up.
I don't know
man.
where to bite.
Shut up.
There's no bite suit. I'm
Oh.
not shaking a water bottle doing this. I see
Oh.
everybody on the internet too. Dude. Ain't
We
no,
don't do no-
ain't
hey,
no
we don't-
criminal gonna come up to you with a bite suit and present the arm to you. Half
we
of
don't
that
do
shit is
this
whack
shit.
too.
You know what, man? You know what? Fuck all that.
Yeah, you're gonna be
Hey.
doing them.
Hey, yo, watch this. Watch this. Hey,
I ain't gonna
Dennis,
do no agitation. I'm not gonna be doing no agitation.
You ain't
Putting
got
a
to.
grown
You ain't got
grown
to.
dog on a table. Putting
You
a
ain't
grown
got to.
100-pound dog on a
When
table.
do you ever see me put my dog on the table? When you ever see my dog on the table? When you ever seen that? Never.
What,
You ever
what
seen
were you
my
gonna
dog
say,
do
Aman? All
this?
right, guys, this
Nah,
Aman
hell
time.
No, hell no. I
You
ain't
guys
done yet.
call each other and
I ain't
shit.
done yet. No,
Yeah.
hell no.
Look
No, fuck that.
Look
Dennis, did you have to agitate my dog?
No, that bitch wanted to bite me already.
Amon, even you met Tookie. You have to
Look at this
my
called
dog?
trading. I knew somebody was gonna get hurt because everybody trading their dog.
my
And
God.
hey,
Oh,
I'm not even
oh.
talking about you. I'm just saying in general. And there's a lot of people that do train their dogs that they'll say that like not every dog is built like that. And I've seen dogs where they train them and then they go out in the wild and it goes bad. There's some badass dogs, but not every dog that does. I'm not even talking about your dog. I'm saying it in general,
Yeah.
right? Not every dog that has a highlight clip doing training.
my boy.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys would agree, right? In the wild, I've seen them, it doesn't work out. There's some dogs, yeah, they're still gonna hit, they're still gonna do that, but not every dog. There's a bunch of dudes in the gym training how to fight, they're gonna get knocked out. It's just, some of them are natural, some of them got it. And that presents a problem too, because then you gotta know who you're training with and where you get the dog. I see a lot of that too, where people are like,
on that, not to even have like Mason argument. Like that's the thing for me, my whole yard, bro, my entire yard. If you're not a natural dog, you can ask Dennis, you can ask anybody. If you're not naturally instinctive, you can slide the fuck up out of here, bro. Like I'm gonna teach you some stuff, but some things you got to know on your own. Like, and that's hands down point blank for me. Like, because I'm gonna be making dogs and making puppies for people. Yes, my dogs are balanced to be a puppy. But yet, I make protection pets, bro. That's Gray Hawk Kennel. It's a protection pet. You can take it out in the public. You can do this in the third. But my dogs have a natural instinct. Like, yo, when my pack leader needs me, I'm ride or die with you, bro. I'm ride or die. You ain't got to tell me to throw. It's like your homeboy that's riding with you. You got beef with a motherfucker? Oh, you ain't got to tell me you got beef. I'm just, boy.
yeah,
That's
and that goes to like what he was saying about the natural selection, right? Because now we do that stuff and it's more maybe not, I'm just saying in general, right? For money, but other people, if you do it for the selection of, hey, this dog doesn't have it, I'm going to cull it. Or back in the day, hey, I wouldn't feed this dog, right? Because now you can do a hobby. You have 10 dogs. You're spending money on all this food, right? But you can do it because it's something for fun. Back then, it wasn't do that. Hey, I'm going to keep it because of that, right? And then nobody else wanted that dog because it's not going to, hey, this dog don't hunt. This dog don't do that. I don't,
Well, like what
I don't want it.
Said, and I agree with him when he said 90% of dogs in training aren't set for real scenarios.
Oh no.
Yeah. We don't train. We set scenarios. Everything is scenario. And we don't you go get all these people that go do all these bite work things and they go do it 2, 3, 4 times a week. We don't even do it that much. Because think about it. Is somebody gonna break into your house every day? No. We're getting you ready and set for that time when it comes. So we'll do like a dresser. She did her assessment. Now we let you sit on that, like, yo, what was that? Now we're gonna wait like 3 weeks. After that 3 weeks, now she's like, dang, now I know what's happening. We don't do this overall, let me give you a sleeve, this, that, and the third. We don't even give our dogs a sleeve. I'm gonna tell y'all, Combat Canine, I'm gonna shout them out to the day I die. We don't do sleeve biters. We make flesh biters. And the first thing they train with is putting the hand out, the hand. And then they put a little decoy, little rag out where you think the dog thinks it's a hand. We don't give a bite sleeve for like months, bro. If you ain't biting, you ain't doing the job, you ain't earned no sleeve. You ain't earned no bodysuit, none of that.
Yeah. Amon, do you have any experience in that, like with protection or like bite work or dogs?
Well, I did a little bit with Pain.
I just said Pain did.
Yeah, Pain was different. But he had like, so he had both, man. It was like weird. And it could be anybody. Like you could say my name too loud, and he's like, "Oh, what the fuck? Don't play with him." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I can fuck some shit up.
It was like immediate. And then it was like times where, you know, like I mean, we worked him on the bite sleeve. You know what I'm saying? And I love that he showed great control when in sport mode. But that was like, it was like play for him. It was like an on off. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, it's gonna work. And then like he would click on. But then it was situations where I would have him in and like, you know, somebody raised their voice and he'd be like on their ass. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, hey, come back, come sit down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I like that. I don't like a barky dog. I don't like I like a dog that's observant and watches and pays attention to those things. And like, so I do feel like some dogs can't take pressure. You know, you put the pressure on them and then they crack. But a dog like Pain, he would handle every situation as it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I mean, I did a shit ton with that dog. But it was like it was two different personalities. He understood we're going to protection train. And oh shit, this is a threat that might hurt my owner.
Yeah.
So it was like two totally different dogs.
You had a smart one.
You know, and when you say that, bro, I'm gonna keep it so that's what like I love all my dogs, and Dennis can contest to this. I love all my dogs, but your Pain granddaughter that lives in my house, hands down, same bitch, bro. She can be chill out in the world with everybody.
Yeah.
If you come at me sideways, you something like that, oh, bro, she up on you.
Yeah.
And like, here's the thing. Yeah, you know, she's been around my protection dogs, but yet, you know, it's been environmental in situations and even feeling the vibe of me. Because you got to remember, she's the only dog at John D. Johnson that competed in every single event. She did the show ring, she did the weight pool, she did the silver work, she did the drive. Like, she did everything. And she did all this with no training, bro, other than weight pool and show. With that protection work, oh, she's like, oh, no, I'll fuck you up. She's like, he uncomfortable, you make me uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. Pain was really good with that. I had another bitch that this was before like I blew up or whatever, but it was before Pain's time. And I always
Let me get back to that, Dennis.
I could have bred those two together. But her name was Destin. She comes down from like some of the Wakeham's tank stuff from what's that guy's name? Callaway Cairns. And this bitch was like nuts. But when I got her, she was super skittish. Nobody ever touched her, like nothing. I bond with her. Man, one day I was walking this dog, guy rolled down his windows, like, oh man, that's a badass dog. She jumps into his truck trying to get him. Process that as a threat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Bond with you though.
Yeah, she was just like real like that. You know what I mean? Like,
so I want to get back to that. Like, I get, like, okay,
was that Ernest?
So who was that? Bring up that on and off switch.
Oh yeah.
So I get what people say you need the on and off switch. I'm not so much for one for that. Like, I get what you're saying, but like my dogs, I have even control, even the dress shear. She's a full guard dog. And here's the thing: even my mom gets mad when I do this. Like when I'm at my mom's crib, I'm like, I'm on the road. I can tell a dresser, like my homeboy even came to the crib, and I had a dresser just sitting right in front of me, and I said, bro, you can take. He's standing there, and the dresser's just sitting there staring at him, like, hey, you know I'm gonna fuck you up, right? And she just stared at him, and he took a step, and the dresser said, "No, now you're moving too close." And did she lunge or anything? No. And she's in between my legs. I said, "Hey, get back, go on ahead." I said, "You can go back to the room." Bam. All right. She said, "Go back to the room." Now, is she upset and mad? Yes. So I told my boy Hunter, and I said, "Yo, you can come up to the door now." He comes up to my front door. A dresser goes right to where my kitchen and living room meets, and she could see Hunter. She didn't run after Hunter. She looked at Hunter, started growling and barking. I said, "Hey, take your ass on." Moved on. It's not an on and off switch that I'm for. I'm with control. Because if I don't want to tell my dog, that's the thing I've been saying. Yes, that is, you might say it's an off switch, but no, bro, because if you get too close, I can't turn this bitch off.
And that's why I think, like, for me, I would like the on and off switch because I would never want to lose control of my dog. That's a liability at the end of the day.
It is.
And that's what it is. Like with the recall, you need a recall and the protection.
And I was about to say that too, where he's like that on off control.
So then you would be able to control her if she got Hunter in the ass.
So I have control of my dog.
Yeah.
I have control. So, but she knows, okay, so we're sitting right here in my patio door.
She's never not on guard, even when she's off. Even when the switch is off, she's still like, "Oh no, I'm still focused. I'm just waiting."
Mom's waiting for the threat.
And that's probably more like she's like expressive of that, right? Because I've seen where there's dogs they're not expressive, but they're watching you. They ain't squirming, they ain't making no noise. But you do it, and they'll come at you, and you won't even know. Like, I thought they were cool, right? So I think it's just kind of depending on the dogs. But I've seen some squirm too, like.
And you're right, So I guess you could say it is an off switch, but the bitch ain't off.
Right? Yeah, she's
But speaking of off, man, that's a great way to end this motherfucker.
Oh, Amon got more to say. Go ahead,
Amon, what else you gotta say, Amon?
What was that? What was that, Dennis?
I said Amon got more to say.
I think he froze.
No, I'm good.
He messed with you.
Yo, I said if you had more to say about certain topics, I know when these guys were going back and forth, you wanted to jump in, but they didn't let you talk.
I don't know, I'm kind of ADD like a motherfucker too. So,
hey, we be getting serious on here, and I'm all for it, But at the end of the day, you guys, I gotta.
I feel
you
like
won't be falling asleep on here.
I just feel like like breeders when they want to breed or want to call themselves breeders, just really understanding like what goes into that and not just thinking about it so surface level, but like it goes deeper. So like everything you think you know before you start breeding, everything that you think you read, it doesn't do anything for what it really is when you 2-3 litters in, and you learn as you go too. So, just front load as much as you can, but then just understand that there's always ways to improve and just have the right mentor too. So, but yeah, man, that's all I got.
Yeah.
I know Ernest didn't hit a topic, and it was type.
Oh,
type, right?
Yeah.
Hey, just like in the oldies, even in the American, we got different types, man.
Right. Yeah. That's hard, man. Because with type, I feel like a dog having type, a bulldog should always look like a bulldog.
Yeah.
No matter the muzzle length, no matter none of that. It should look like a bulldog. However, I feel like that's one of the beauties of an oldie is you have different styles and different types. Same thing with American. I do feel like it hurts the breed because of the acceptance or like the consistency you won't ever see, but it's fun and unique because you see every, like you see so many different types of yard to yard. And as far as like, I don't think there's ever been a show ring where you have, 10 American Bulldogs that all look the same as you do with a Doberman show ring. You just don't have that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Double-edged sword. It definitely has its, the pros and cons, and does make it some exciting, but there's some stuff that piss you off too at the same time. But I think if we accept it,
Yeah. I as far as like breeding and like understanding type, I feel like a lot of breeders pick for certain things. Like certain breeders have certain characteristics that they look for, and then that's all they see.
Yes.
I want bone and head, and then you got a dog with bone and head, no rib cage, no rear end, and then the dog's just bowed out, no depth in chest. Versus having a balanced dog, like a balanced dog is always a better building foundation
True.
than a dog that just has like one or two traits. So yes, it must have type, but balance is key.
Yeah, there you go. That's the word, balance.
Yeah, definitely, and that's something that you see in your pups. You can see it early. Normally the pups that's standing first typically are gonna be your more balanced pups. They're gonna move better. They're gonna get up. They're up better. They're out of the weapon box the first. Like there's all of those different things. Those are the pups that I like to pick, and that just natural stack. I like when I let my puppies run around. The ones that just hit that natural pose, just a show ring pose. Those are the pups that have that natural stack, that natural balance that I just tend to gravitate to, and then I just try to build on that litter by litter.
Yeah.
That's kind of like my philosophy on selection.
Yeah. And that's the word. Selection is key.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
My biggest key on selection, other than like, structure and everything, mine is the mental confidence of a dog. I love a confident puppy.
Yeah.
Like, that's one thing. You can build confidence in a puppy. You can build one. But that takes a little bit longer. But one that just will go explore, leads the way, has no fear of anything of environment, like wants to be curious about everything. That is my type of puppy.
Yeah.
Like it has that structure and that balance, that size, and what I'm looking for. Oh, dead on. I got to keep you. I have to.
Right.
And like that was like real talk, Dennis. That was the hardest thing for me in Tookie. Like he was not the most. He didn't lack confidence, but he didn't have that high confidence I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I can get it out of him because I've been around this for a minute. All I got to do is put environmental with him and this, that, and the third. Oh, now you can't even walk up to my fence. He don't care. Amon, you couldn't even walk up to my van. He was like, hell no, get back. Yeah. Like that was not a lick of training. That's that natural confidence and knowing what I need to do as a dog.
Right.
Yeah. And that's what people don't understand. Like even my barber, like I told him, bro, this dog will protect your home. He got a puppy and some situations happen. He was cutting my hair. He said, man, you ain't lying. He said that situation, this dog was ready. He said, I had to put a chair and everything in between between the guy and the dog, because the guy walked into my house when I wasn't even around, so the dog didn't see me accept him into the home. And like that's that thing, like because like let's think about it. Like one biggest thing is like when I'm marketing my puppies and things like that, I like talking to the man of the home, because my number one thing is because most of your home invasions happen when the wife and the children are home.
Yeah.
So this is something like while you're away, it's like you being there. And if that dog doesn't have it for me and I can't breed for that, because let's think about what the world is, man. The world's not loving. It's not. Most of your home invasions end in murder because there's someone in the home when they didn't expect them to be there. or there's something that just goes wrong where there's a fear and somebody ends up hurt, stabbed, shot. But if you have something that's protecting you and something alerting, oh, bro, your dog's on the front line. So that confidence is, for me, is number one key, because I don't just think about myself. I think about what the world is becoming, but I think about my kids, my daughter, my son, your kid, your wife, and everything when you're traveling on the road and this, that, and third. Because even when I was in my relationship and I had my dogs, I had to leave my home because I was that protector. So if I'm leaving my home, hey, let me leave some protection and behind. So, you know, when you sleep, your gun sleep, but the dog's always awake. So confidence, natural instinct is my biggest key of selection of a dog. Like back in the day, we weren't looking at shoulder layback, because, you know, I've been in this since back in the day, we weren't looking at shoulder layback, turn to stifle, the like we weren't looking at all that. We was looking at, hey, can this motherfucker do the job? That was it. And that's what I was raised on. All this other stuff, I learned. So like people might look and like say like, oh man, he's a ruthless guy and this, that. No, I'm not. It's just what I knew, it's what I was taught. Hey, if this dog ain't gonna protect the farm, it ain't gonna protect you. This is my exact words of my uncle. Oh, that motherfucker ain't worth a damn. He ain't. Then like you gotta protect your home, your livestock, and your family. And that's what I look for in the dog, man.
Oh, facts.
Yeah,
I like that. I can get down with that.
yeah, they gotta be balanced. You gotta have everything, have everything there.
Yeah. But fellas, it is now 10:25 my time. I love y'all.
Yeah,
No, for sure. It was a good one. It was a lot of good, informative topics. Hey, appreciate the audience, man. They were
Yeah,
commenting
I
and,
appreciate
you know,
y'all.
Yeah,
that's a
thanks.
good answer.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
thanks, Amon. Hey, Amon, sorry about Ernest. He be acting like that sometimes, Amon. Don't worry about it. You know, my apologies on behalf of Ernest. Don't trip, Ernest. I got you. Hey, no, but we appreciate you, man. I like this. This is fun.
man.
No, like, real talk before, like, Amon, real talk, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate everything you have done in the past up to now. Like, I really appreciate that. You've done a lot for the game, and no one's giving you flowers. I'm going to always give you flowers. I
appreciate
respect
that,
you.
Appreciate that.
I put my hands on your dogs, not just one breed. And I've even picked your brain for things. I go to you for like anything, like not just you, but I go to you for a lot.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people should. Gam, I'm glad you made it here with us, my boy. I'm glad. I'm glad you made it.
Time change got me.
And every Wednesday, Dennis, it's always good to see your face. I love you guys. I love the audience. Love everything we do.
No, for sure, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
All right, everybody. Good night.
All right, guys.
Have a good night.